Howdy folks, I'm Antsy Arctic Blue, ardently arguing with annoying anteaters.
I'm Amber.
And here are more annoying anteaters for us to argue with, but turns out they were just Redditors. Oh, and folks, we have a live stream coming up on Friday. For more information, please see the end of the video. So let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Share a Bed with My Ex-Wife Again? I'm a 41-year-old male, and I was married to my ex-wife, a 37-year-old female, for a little while. We started dating when she was 24. Although she had more sexual experience than me at the time, she said that I was the first guy to treat her proper and not just like a casual hookup. We got engaged 20 months after we met, got married, and eventually had our daughter, who's now 12. My ex has always seemed to be searching for something more in life, but I couldn't figure out exactly what. Over time, that dissatisfaction grew, and our marriage unraveled when she cheated. I don't let that affect me too much, though it still does sting. We separated 2 years ago, and our divorce was finalized last year. Since then, I haven't dated seriously, but she moved on pretty quickly. She dated a few guys before settling with Mark, a 45-year-old male, about 10 months ago. He seemed like a good guy, and my daughter likes him, so I didn't have any issue with him. Well, Mark is a former football player, so he's got a solid athletic build. You can tell that he had a lot of muscle back in the day, but now he's in that muscular but carrying some extra weight phase. Not unhealthy, just not as fit as he used to be. Think Shaq post-retirement. I have a beach house that we used to visit as a family. But after the divorce, I've been taking my daughter there on weekends. Well, last week, when I went to pick her up at my ex's house, she asked if she could come along because Mark was away on a work trip, and she was bored. I said, sure, no problem. The issue came up that night when she hopped into bed with me, like we were still married. I asked about it, and she told me that Mark wouldn't mind. Nothing happened, of course, but I wasn't comfortable with the situation. Well, a few days later, she texted me asking if she could stay again while Mark was busy the next week. I waited to talk to her in person and explained that I wasn't okay with her sharing a bed while she was in a relationship. She said that Mark wouldn't mind, but I asked if I could hear that directly from him. She got upset and accused me of being jealous of her relationship. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, I think if Mark wouldn't have a problem with it, there should be no problem talking to him and confirming. I think she knows what she's doing is not something he would approve of. And OP is well within their right to not want to get involved in that drama.
She's bored. She's bored and she's trying to create drama. That's what's going on here. This is a red flag if I've ever seen one. I think that she maybe realized what she had with OP was better than what she thought. And the thing is that, I don't know, like OP is like, oh, I don't want to sleep in the same bed as you if you're in a relationship. It sounds like he wouldn't actually object if they weren't in a relationship. So, I mean, I think that is something that OP should reflect on because that doesn't sound very healthy. I think that OP should be rejecting sleeping with her anytime. Now, you know, the thing is that I think OP handled this probably in about the best way possible, asking to hear it directly from Mark so that OP can make sure that this isn't like something like untoward. And I mean, like, OP knows it is, she knows it is, and I think this was just a good way of shutting down the conversation. And her whole getting upset and accused OP of being jealous of her relationship, I mean, come on. Really? I don't think that's the case. I really don't think that's the case. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Stock Adhesiveness 351 says, sound like she's bored of Mark. Or now you look more physically fit than Mark, so now she wants a taste. I hope your daughter takes after you and not after her mother. And OP replies, I don't know how she feels about my looks compared to Mark's, but I'm pretty sure Mark could beat me up very easily if it came to a physical confrontation. So that's yet another reason to avoid getting involved in this whole thing. And Arrow Kengo says, ha ha ha, not sure I would buy the Mark not minding if I didn't hear it from his mouth. Also, what relevance did his physical description have to the scenario? And OP replies, well, you're right, that paragraph feels a little weird now. This post was originally way longer and explained more of the context of my relationship with my ex and her taste in men, but I cut out most of it and forgot to remove that part about Mark. And Kronk La Sorda says, who cares if Mark wants it? Do you want it? Sign points to no. She can find a new place to vacation. Stop bringing your ex places, not the jerk. Edit, some of y'all are missing the point of my statement. OP clearly doesn't want to share a bed, and that's the reason enough to say no. Mark's opinion doesn't even enter into this. The OP should say no for their own sake. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, My husband wanted a divorce until he lost his job. Am I the jerk for following through with the divorce? My husband, a 34-year-old male, and I, a 38-year-old female, have been married for 6 years, together for 9. We had our ups and downs, but the biggest down is how he speaks to me. I just had our son a year ago. When I was 10 months postpartum, he was telling me that I was fat and lazy, and all I do is take care of the baby and work, as I still had baby weight on navigating a few new routines, work, and caring for our baby and for other children while working 40 hours a week. On my birthday, he demanded that I not leave the house or he would divorce me. So, just happened that my daughter had an appointment at UCLA for her teeth in the morning of my birthday. So I took her. Needless to say, he didn't even say hello to me and slept in his game room. He has been sleeping there since. It's been 2 months. He told everyone that he was divorcing me, spoke to an attorney and everything before even telling me that he wanted a divorce. He told me that I was not the prize and I'm almost 40 and have 4 kids, 3 who are minors. He says that he's the prize, he's in his prime, and he makes good money, and any woman would love to be in my shoes and take care of his kids. He even went as far as inviting his baby's mother into the house to visit while I was out. Well, fast forward, he loses his job and is telling me to wait to move. He then starts talking nicer to me and acting different than before. I told him that I was still moving out and going forward with separating because his actions did not align with someone who wanted to be with me. It felt more like I was his only option at the moment. Now he's going around saying that I'm a gold digger and leave as soon as he loses his job. But he's saying that he wanted to try and make it work, but I'm the one choosing to leave to all of his family and friends. So am I the jerk for following through with what he initiated even though he lost his job? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I think he's finally realizing that without a job, he's not nearly as much of a catch as he thought he was. The way he treated you was absolutely despicable, OP, and you deserve better.
He messed around and he found out. That's what I can say on this one.
And I just hope that everyone, knows what BS he's on, because I heard him going on and on about how he's going to, divorce OP.
Yeah.
And now he's like, I want to make things work. OP is trying to force me when I'm down.
Yeah. Well, the fact is that this is Darvo. I mean, he's reversing this. He's now the victim. And he's blaming OP for being a gold digger when she's the one who has a job, right? Like, he's being the gold digger. He wants her for her money. And that's really what this boils down to. He didn't want to make things work. He made that abundantly clear. And now then, when the chips aren't in his favor, he wants to, do this. And, wants OP to stay. OP is not entitled to. He doesn't love her. And he's just treating her nicer because he needs something from her. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Tough OK 9044 says, Baby mama, how many of those kids are his? And OP replies, 2 between the 2 of us, we have 6. I have an 18-year-old, 16-year-old, and a 13-year-old. He has a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old, and we have a 1-year-old together. That is a lot of kids. And Mountain Sand says, my daughter is almost 2 and I still have baby weight. Also, I'm the dad. OP replies, thank you for this. And Miyuki M says he's realizing that nobody wants an unemployed guy who verbally abuses his postpartum wife. Leave him and focus on creating a life for yourself and your kids without his toxic behavior dragging you down. And Friendly Owl 19 says exactly. He's just trying to save face now. She's already been through so much postpartum, a new baby, 4 kids, and his verbal abuse is unacceptable. Leaving him is the right move for her and her kids. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not changing my daughter's wedding venue even though my sister's husband proposed to his 22-year-old mistress there last month? Well, I'm a 51-year-old female, and I put down a $20,000 non-refundable deposit on this gorgeous beachfront estate for my daughter. Let's call her Amy, a 26-year-old female. Her wedding is next September. We booked it out 18 months. For some context, and without revealing too much, it's the venue in our area. And it has been Amy's dream wedding spot in all of her Pinterest boards. Well, last month, my sister, we'll call her Carol, a 53-year-old female, found out her cheating ex-husband, we'll call him Mark, a 55-year-old male, proposed to his co-worker, a 28-year-old female. She was 22 when they started having an affair. The woman posted engagement photos from the same venue, specifically the beautiful beach area where Amy plans to have her ceremony. Carol is obviously destroyed. She called me sobbing, begging for me to change venues. She says that she can't watch Amy get married where Mark proposed to a girl younger than his own daughter. Can't smile for photos on that beach. I feel sick for her, I do, but $20,000 non-refundable deposit. Save the dates already sent. Amy dreamed of this venue since high school. Everything else is booked out or 3 times the price. I told Carol that I can't lose $20,000 and crush Amy's dream because Mark is garbage. Carol says that I'm choosing money over mental health and that I'm forcing her to relive the worst betrayal of her life for pretty pictures. I also talked to Amy, and she does not want to change venues. It's not her fault that Mark, who has been out of their lives for the last 5 years, ruined a place for Carol. Carol called Amy a spoiled brat who wouldn't understand real pain. Now Carol is skipping Thanksgiving. And my and Carol's side of the family, her daughter, and to some extent my parents, are saying that I'm heartless. The place is cursed anyways. Why should we host Amy's big day there? My husband's side of the family says that Carol doesn't get to hijack Amy's wedding because her husband is a cheater. Am I the jerk for not switching venues? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, OP's not the jerk. I mean, the daughter has had this venue booked for 18 months. And, you know, OP's sister and her ex have been divorced for like 5 years now. I understand that he just recently proposed to his partner and there's like fresh hurt there. But, you know, maybe she should go into therapy to work on those feelings if she can't even be at that venue without, you know, feeling like that.
Yeah.
And she's within her right not to go if she's too hurt, but she cannot dictate where the wedding is held.
Yeah. Now, I was a little confused. I think they're saying that the wedding is going to be next month, right? So if the wedding is next month, this is just completely unreasonable. I mean, it still would be unreasonable if it was a year out, right? But I mean, still, because wedding venues are so hard to get, it can take years to secure them.
Oh yeah,
right?
if they were trying to reschedule a wedding of this caliber, they're going to be booking out at least a year, if not more.
So I do think that that's a problem. I feel bad for Carol. I absolutely do. But I think Carol needs to respectfully decline to go to the wedding if it means this much to her. She shouldn't be trying to force everyone else. Everyone's going to understand, I think. I don't think anyone's going to hold it against her. I think she just needs to explain that because of this situation, she is, uncomfortable with going to the wedding. I also want to say that she does need therapy, right? The fact of the matter is that she's keeping tabs on her ex, who she's been divorced from for 5 years, right? She doesn't need to keep tabs on this guy anymore. She's giving him more energy than he deserves. So I think she just needs to ignore him and live her best life and not pay attention to what this guy is doing. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And OP comments, update, Carol is willing to pay Amy the $20,000 non-refundable deposit, essentially paying Amy not to host her wedding at that venue. I'm guessing Carol is using her alimony for this. Amy is deeply unhappy with Carol. To her, even with the $20,000 being covered, finding a new venue and reorganizing everything would be a huge hassle. I'm on Amy's team here, but I feel like I'm losing half my family over this. Timeline clarification. I booked and paid for a $20,000 non-refundable deposit for Amy's dream wedding venue 18 months ago. Carol's ex-husband had an affair with a woman who was 22 when it started 5 years ago and is now 28. He just proposed to the mistress a month ago at the same unfortunate venue. Yeah, it was booked out 18 months ago, right? Like, and they're going to have a wedding next month. Like, you can't change wedding venues inside of a month here, right?
Well, again, it's nice of Carol to offer to cover the $20,000, but there's so much more that's probably gone into the wedding at this point in time. There's all the other vendors.
Yeah.
And also, like, again, this would mean the couple would have to postpone their big day for at least a year.
All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did Pluto cry at planetary boarding school?
Pluto? Because Pluto is a dog, and dogs cry at inopportune times because they're just dogs. They don't really have a good understanding.
We're talking about Pluto, the former planet.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're talking about Pluto, the dog.
Anyway, because it got demoted.
Yeah?
And it's Pluto Demoted Day.
Aw.
It's also National Waffle Day and National Knife Day.
Pluto, put down the knife. Oh, wait, they're just cutting a waffle. That's fine. You can do that. And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy special Sunday, folks. I hope your Sunday is off to a special start. And folks, we have a live stream coming up on Friday. For more information, please see this chart right here. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on entitled X's.
If you want to share beds with someone, you should probably stay married to them.
I like that. I like that a lot. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.